Good day, everyone. This is Dr. Franco de Tue coming to you live from George. So today I was in the privileged position to have attended Johan Jacob's workshop based on his book called Go Natural. Now, anyone who's ever listened to me or seen me in my practice or been in conversation with me recently would know that I am exceptionally passionate about this topic about amalgam fillings and mercury toxicity. It lies exceptionally close to my heart because it's one of the first health conditions I treated in my mother because she had a mouth full of at least 12 to 14 amalgam fillings, and they were contributing to more than 90%, if they're not 100% of all of her health struggles. So I was very fortunate to be early on in my clinical career to have seen the tremendous turnaround in people's life and health can experience when they go through the transformation of detoxing and removing amalgam fillings. But all of this with the disclaimer, it has to be done correctly and with the correct support. Now, this is the type of support you will find by listening to Johan Jacobs or reading his book called Go Natural, which we discussed in depth this morning in a workshop here in George, one of the local churches. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of feedback of what I received and what stood out for me the most. The first thing is that while no disease is incurable, he was cured from the incurable disease of multiple sclerosis. And if anyone has ever heard about that, that's a autoimmune condition attacking the central nervous system, and you have X amount of years to live, but it's incurable. Well, he cured it by removing amalgam fillings and detoxing. What really stood out for me is that he said that food is our future. And he really goes back to the roots of where disease comes from, especially in the light of that a lot of the health conditions we are experiencing as humankind is not just because of rampant nutritional deficiencies, which masquerade as so many health conditions, but also because of food toxicity, because of everything that we've done to corrupt the food, especially grain or wheat products. And taking control of our food supply, making sure that we are sourcing, buying, and growing our own food is really the key to our futures and also our independence. He talked about the cholesterol heart disease myth and how if cholesterol levels are rising, it's an indication, for example, of that your blood levels of toxins are increasing because it's part of the pathway of healing in the body. And one of the ways the body responds, which I can verify is part of the picture of why cholesterol levels go up. And love to discuss more about the cholesterol heart disease myth with anyone who's liking me to present on that topic in the future again. He talked about how important it is to have a pure water supply, like having a steam distiller, which is the ultimate method of cleaning your water supply. Because if you especially highlighted that if you want to detox, and everyone knows that I'm very passionate about detoxification, how it can optimize your health. I saw it extensively while I was working in Thailand, how amazing it can be to take guests from all over the world through these comprehensive detox programs and how much their health improves and changes. Now, he talked about how great detox is, but if you are retoxing with bad water, water has really gone backwards in terms of its quality and the toxins and the chemicals and the hormones that are unfortunately now part of our mainstream water supply because of the concentrated need for cleaning and filtration in the city life, which is completely different than our ancestors would have lived much more in, more pockets away from such concentration. And he talked about how important the water is to actually be able to clean and detox efficiently because you want clean water during a detox, otherwise you're retoxing. He talked about how, at least these are all things that stood out to me, when you use an electronic device, part of the toxins is now a modern one. It's electrical pollution and how devices can emit electromagnetic waves that can disrupt the human body because of how our nervous system works electrically and it creates electromagnetic fields. So these electronic devices can disrupt the normal synchronization or pattern of our cells. And one of the greatest releases of this electromagnetic burden is for the first 5 seconds when a cell phone is being connected to the server, whenever you're receiving a phone call. And the worst thing you can do is pick it up and keep it directly next to your head for those 5 seconds while it's connecting. The suggestion was from Jan is just to put your phone on speakerphone every single time you answer a phone. Obviously, if it's a very private or generally private conversation, you just go take it in a private room, you still put it on speakerphone because then you're keeping that distance away from you and the amount of electromagnetic fields these devices, which we all need as part of our lives, can be at least minimized, its effects. And he talked about how much of food has been manipulated to be full of chemicals, and how that actually drugs us and makes us unable to make good decisions. I mean, literally, we are addicted. That's the hormone chemistry of the body. Some of the foods do that very quickly, like MSG, which is an exceptionally neurotoxic ingredient, still found in the, you could say, more large-scale fast food or snacks and chips industry. In fact, I was so shocked when I was working in Thailand, when you walked into the local shop, like our version of 7-Eleven. They actually have 7-Eleven in Thailand. It's that big franchise, probably in Asia. You walk into those shops and you look on the shelf and you see this bag, this white bag of grain, looks like sugar, almost like granules. And you pick it up and you read monosodium glutamate. There they sell bags of this neurotoxic ingredient that addicts you to food, makes your brain full to feel that it's healthy. It's called an excitatory neurotoxin. It excites the brain cell to the point where it explodes, and that release of hormones makes you think the food tasted very nice. So in any case, we need to be aware of these chemical drug measures that are being implemented in the food supply to make us addicted to their foods. And how these different toxins, be it environmental or dental related, can actually, especially talked about fluoride in toothpaste, fluoride that's been in some areas in the water supply. I would love to know if anyone knows if the fluoride supply is still being released into our local mainstream water here in South Africa. One of the things that can cause, or other toxin can cause, is calcification of the pituitary gland. And that pituitary gland gives us the ability to make wise decisions and helps us in our decision-making tree. So that is a very shocking topic, and I'd love to delve into that more in the future. And the last one, it's like the more modern health problem. He says one of the greatest things that's causing dis-ease, it talks about not the disease, but dis-ease, how many things are just like relating to general pain, discomfort, and niggles. These are all part of this big spectrum of health problems. In any case, one of the most modern ones is that we are sitting too much. And I took that to heart when I heard that, because I actually designed part of my desk setup to be a standing desk. So actually, I'm using my standing desk setup for this video recording. It's really inspired me already. And we need to be moving. We need to be standing up every hour, ideally. We need to be walking outside for proper sunlight. So I'm really inspired by today's talk, and for you that have stayed to the end, but I also share this as a picture attached to this recording, is that it's really essential to understand how manipulated and disnutritized, I want to say the word, our grains have become, and how, if you go back to the original design of milling your own grain, that you can have the most nutritious food almost in the world. I'll be sharing this attachment about how to order these stone millers and grain rollers. By the way, for all the products that I'll be mentioning further on in today's talk, I will be able to arrange for an order and a discount upon request. So do send those requests through. It's also mentioned a lot about the steam distillers. Those can also be ordered, and that's the ideal water filtration system. And then lastly, obviously, his book called Go Natural. I can order on bulk and also get an exceptional discount on that if anyone is interested. So also the recording for today's workshop will be supplied very soon. The link, if you're interested, I can supply that to you directly. Well, that's me for today. It's a Sunday, so I need to clock off. Hope everyone has had a wonderful weekend, and we will be discussing the future of digital detox coming into next month. So that post will come up very soon. Have a great day, everyone.